Hello guys! I wanted to make a great video today talking to you about how we can reduce our stress levels during this crazy and turbulent time that we live. And some of you may be saying, you know, Thad, where are you at? That's such a beautiful background in your video. Well, I'm here out in nature, enjoying this beautiful place. And this is one of the best ways that we can reduce stress and anxiety in our lives, is get out there in nature and enjoy yourself and give yourself an opportunity to ground your energy and to soak up the beautiful sun and to see the beautiful sights that we can see and go to some beautiful waterfalls and things like that. You know, I'm here in a beautiful place in central Alabama called Cheaha High Falls, right by the Cheaha State Park. It's about an hour and a half east of Birmingham, Alabama. It's one of the largest cities in Alabama, in central Alabama. So if any of you guys are around Alabama, come check it out too, because it's got a couple of really nice waterfalls. It's got two main beautiful waterfalls and one smaller little waterfall, you know, along the creek. And it's just got a lot of amazing views and a lot of amazing hiking trails and amazing places to camp. And it's spring weather here for us in Alabama, because this is at the end of March. We're fixing to be the beginning of April. And it's such beautiful spring weather. So we're just trying to get out here and enjoy ourselves and get away from the cities and the craziness with all this coronavirus and all this fear and anxiety and stress that people are having around the cities and stuff like that, you know. So that's one reason why I wanted to make this video, to inspire you all to just find your way that you can spend more time in nature to help your stress levels. You know, we come here, and right down here below where I'm making this video, there's a great rock outcrop. And I'll show you actually. Well, I don't want to move my camera because I got it in a good position. But my point is that right down here is where every morning while me and Kaylee have been here, my girlfriend, camping, we've been doing our morning meditation and deep breathing exercises. And that has been so amazing and so therapeutic and so stress relieving, because we've been able to get great and amazing air quality while we're here doing our deep breathing exercises. We've been able to ground ourselves on these amazing rocks and hear the waterfalls in the background. You know, it's just been an amazing experience. We've been here now. This is at the end of our trip, and I wanted to make these videos before we left, because the rest of the trip I've just not wanted to deal with any electronics, my phone or my camera, or making any videos or anything. So I waited until the end of the trip to do this, and that way that I could also tell you how my trip went and how much I enjoyed it, you know. And I just made a video before this taking everyone around a tour to this place. So check out that video too, you know, if you haven't already seen it. But let me talk now about some more ways that you can reduce stress in your everyday life. You know, guys, first thing is we have to identify what are the stress causers. What are the main things in our life that are causing us not only physical stress, but also emotional and subconscious stress? Because did you know, when you start to have too much subconscious stress, that starts to make us have anxiety, starts to make us over worry and overthink, and then that starts to make us breathe too shallow and not get enough deep breathing. And see, that's another reason why taking a time out and a pause and just getting more deep breathing exercises into our system and doing more meditation is so vital during this time of our lives and with the turbulent craziness in this world, you know. So that's my #1 recommendation to reduce stress and anxiety, is to do deep breathing exercises and meditation, preferably all in the same sitting, and preferably outdoors when the weather permits. You know, and then second would be get more sun. Sun is a wonderful stress reducer. You know, it's just good for us to get the energy baths, get an energy bath from nature. You know, a sun bath. Naked preferably when you can. And yes, when I was here, I've been up here, and this place where I'm at right here is more private than other places around here. And most of the people go down to the waterfalls. So while we were up here, both me and Kaylee, we got some sunbathing naked. And it's just so amazing to do that too, you know, because see, that's what people don't understand, is our amygdala in our brains, that's the emotion center. it's very sensitive to the world's frequencies. And it's that way on purpose because we need that good interaction with the sun, the moon, the stars, the ocean, the creeks, the streams. Those are the natural frequencies of the earth that we are supposed to be very sensitive to, so we can have that close relationship with those frequencies of the earth. But when we start to have too much exposure to the man-made frequencies, to the Wi-Fi, to the cell phone towers, to the electronics, to the power stations, to the electrical meters that are in our house, or the smart meters, to all of those things, those affect our amygdala and make it more stressed out. And then that makes us have a higher rate of stress. That's why we always feel more stressed in the cities around all that electricity than we do out in nature. And that's why everyone feels so good when we go to the beach, and so that's why I'm telling you that, just getting out in nature more and doing these kind of things is so good for helping us to reduce our levels of stress. And it also helps you, especially when you come out here and camp for a little while, it helps you to appreciate your home more. It helps you to appreciate your bed and those kind of things, But let's talk about more things that can help you to reduce stress. Well, you can use the power of herbs. There's many great herbs that you can do that helps reduce stress. Licorice root is wonderful to help reduce stress, and it's also naturally antiviral because it helps to lower our, raise our blood pressure when we have really low blood pressure, because when our adrenal glands are really stressed out, we have a tendency to have too low a blood pressure. And so that's an important thing to do and to use. And then also you can use a wonderful herb called ashwagandha. Ashwagandha is a great adaptogen herb that can help with stress and anxiety. And also astragalus. Astragalus is wonderful. Lots of your ginsengs can help, like alethro root or Siberian ginseng. And then also schisandra berries. Schisandra berries are an amazing berry that helps our pineal gland and our master glands. Our hypothalamus is, I consider, one of our master glands, as well as the pituitary gland. So it helps both of those. And then also lemon balm is really good for stress and anxiety. Valerian root can help you calm down, and it can help people that have trouble falling asleep. All of those great, wonderful herbs. And there's many more too that I can't think of right off the top of my head that I know I'm forgetting to mention. And if I remember them in a minute, I'll mention them. But now let's talk about also essential oils. Essential oils are wonderful to use because that's another reason why we want to get out in nature. It's because we can smell these amazing natural smells of nature. There's lots of amazing wildflowers that are blooming, and just different things that we can smell out here that's just so wonderful. But that's the reason why smelling things is very good for our stress levels and very good for our bodies health-wise. And that's why we use the essential oils also to help us with stress and anxiety. And the ones that are really good that stand out are, again, all of your essential oils that are made from flowers, like lemon balm, let's see, also lavender and lang lang, and also jasmine and geranium, and I think lemongrass, even though that's not a flower. I think that still does help. And I know I'm probably missing a couple again because I don't have a list off of online of more that would really help. But those are some of the ones off the top of my head that I can think of. Also, frankincense and myrrh is always good for stress and anxiety, as well as antiviral, antiseptic, antibacterial, and all of those things, And breathe them in. Put the drops of essential oils on your left hand, or if you're left-handed, you put them on your right hand, and take the other hand and rub it in, and rub it clockwise. That puts energy into the oil. And then breathe it in really deep and let it get into your sinuses, and let it help, your sinuses to open up. And that's called the aromatherapy technique. But you can also put them in diffusers around your home. You can use lavender before you go to sleep, and you can use some of the other ones, of course, before you go to sleep. And but get out there and do more research about different essential oils and different herbs that you can use that will help you to relax and take away stress. But I really feel like, guys, the best remedy for stress is our self-care techniques that we do, and diving inward, going inward and processing our emotions and feelings that we're currently going through from the last month or two, and then even going back into our teenage years and our childhood years, and even before we were born, because we can be born with a certain level of stress and anxiety that our mother was going through before, she gave birth to us, that she was experiencing during that time when maybe she was pregnant in those 9 months, and a lot of the energy can be transferred to us. And also, we need to just do more self-care when we have to live our lives in ways, whether it be from our jobs or people that we're around, other loved ones that are going through hard times. We have to learn how to maintain that stress level. And I always tell all my clients that I talk to and that we have 2 different tanks that we should always be aware of. We have a stress tank and we have a love tank. And we always want our love tank to be as full as possible, because that helps to keep us from being as stressed as easy. And we have to do lots of things to help us to feel more loved to ourselves, not just loving towards others and loving towards God or the Creator or source above, whatever you want to call them. See, we have to love ourselves and who we are, and we have to remember we all have the young child psyche that lives within us, and we have to remember to talk to ourselves and be very loving to ourselves like the young child that lives within inside of us. And we have to be very encouraging, very motivating, very soft and gentle with the way that we talk to ourselves. Because if some of us would pay attention, we would notice that sometimes we're quite harsh and quite negative with the things that we say to ourselves sometimes. And we just have to be aware of that more, and we have to realize that we can work on it if we just become more aware and more conscious of what we're doing. And that's why sometimes I recommend to my clients to write down, how much negative thoughts you have a day and how much positive thoughts you have a day. And if you're noticing that you're having more negative thoughts than positive thoughts, then you got to start practicing positive affirmations and things that you can practice talking to yourself in a more positive, loving way. Like, you want to do mirror work. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the work of Louise Hay. She was a wonderful self-help author, and she talked about doing mirror work, where every morning you get up and you look in the mirror and you say, "I love you, Thad," and you look yourself in the eyes. And that's the true test on how much you love yourself. Because if you look at yourself in the mirror and you're ashamed of yourself, or you can't look yourself in the mirror because you're not proud of who you are, then that shows deep down inside that you have some stuff that you need to work on subconsciously, and you have to start working on loving yourself more on a deep level. And for all of my female viewers, I want to remind you of something that I tell all of my female clients, is that it's very ironic that you guys have such an amazing ability to give out love to the world, but sometimes you don't hold enough of that love back for yourselves. You love your children so much, you love your husbands, you love your other family members, your mom and all those people so much, but you don't love yourself enough, because you think part of being a mother or a wife is to sacrifice part of your welfare and your self-being to love and take care of your family and your children. And that's so sad, because it doesn't have to be that way. You can love yourself, because remember guys, you can't give out what you don't have. You can actually love your children and love your family and your husband even much more than you already do if you love yourself and the Creator above, or God, whatever you call Him above. If you have a good relationship with God or Source, and yourself, and you live with gratitude and appreciation, and you forgive yourself of things that you're not proud of, and forgive others for things that they've done in the past, because forgiveness and gratitude is another wonderful way to reduce our stress levels. Because remember guys, when we go through stressful moments and challenging moments in our life, sometimes they're our greatest gift. They're our amazing ability to realize that it is something we can learn from that experience, some way that we can grow from that experience. So guys, I just wanted to share that with you and let you know that that is probably my greatest tips on how to keep ourselves where our stress tank can be really low, and our love tank can be really high. Because then the more you're aware of the stress that's building up, you want to do something about it before it gets to the critical stage. Because let's say that your stress tank is halfway full already, and then here comes something new that's really stress causing, and it overflows your stress tank, and then that makes it where you take it out on others, you're real harsh towards yourself, and all of these negative things. So just be aware of that more and realize that we can do something about it. We just have to be aware of it first and notice what's going on. So that's why I always tell you there is herbs and essential oils that we can use to help us during crazy turbulent times when we're more stressed or have more anxiety. But the biggest thing is self-help, like self-care and self-love, and doing it enough on a regular basis, because we need to do it in a routine. We need to practice it enough, as much as we can every day. That's why I tell people all the time that I've been practicing daily meditation and deep breathing for the last probably 4 or 5 months, and I have noticed a huge difference since I've been more consistent with it. Because before, when I wasn't that consistent with it, it never really gave me that much benefits. It did some, but when I started making it a part of my daily practice, that's when I started to notice differences. So I encourage you to start to practice more of the meditation, the deep breathing, the self-love techniques, the techniques of using the herbs and the essential oils, and just go do fun things with yourself. Develop a good relationship with yourself and love your own company. Go on solo walks through your local neighborhood, or to go to the local park. Go shopping by yourself and buy yourself some nice things. We don't always have to go and buy material things to give us happiness and joy, but I'm saying just go buy you some flowers, or go pick some wildflowers in the woods and bring them home and put them around your home. That help us to feel more loved. And just, I want you guys to realize that we are our own best friends, and we are our own #1 child that we have to take care of. And we have to remember that our true self is kind of like a young child or our best friend. And so we want to always be real loving and show it appreciation and gratitude, because when we have that relationship with ourselves, you can have so much more love for yourself. And then when you have much more love for yourself and for God and the Creator above, you can have ultimate level of love for the rest of the world. And you can start to see God or Source in everything. You can start to see it in the trees, in the flowers, in different people, in different places we go. Because, Source or God put some of His energy into everything that He created. So we are all connected in that way, because we all come from that ultimate divine source of energy. So guys, I hope some of these tips today have been useful for you, and I've really pretty much told you the most important ones that I can think of. But I want you to start to first, most importantly, like I mentioned before, just try to first become more aware of what could be causing stress in your life. Because some of the things that make people feel so overwhelmed is they don't realize where all of their stress is coming from until it starts to get to a critical level. And it starts to get to the point where they feel overwhelmed. And then they feel hopeless. And then they don't know how to go about trying to do something about it, or where to start. So I first want you to take a daily assessment. Wake up every day and talk to yourself. And if you have a loved one, a husband or a friend or someone that you can talk to, just have a moment when you can express your thoughts and your feelings and emotions about life, and about the different things that you have going on in your life, the different projects, the different tasks that you're doing. Just try to communicate more with those that you love, And if you have a husband or a wife, that's the best way to do it, because you can connect with that person that's really connected to you, or like your soulmate, and you can just open up your heart and you can feel comfortable, and you can try your best to not feel judged by them for anything that you talk about, and you can truly express your heart's desires and emotions and feelings. And that helps so much to let it out too, because we have to have someone that we can be comfortable with talking about these things. And that's why sometimes I have lots of clients as well, is because they feel comfortable talking with me about it, because they don't have a husband husband that will talk to them about it, or a wife or someone like that, or a good best friend. So guys, if I can help you with any of this, I would be happy to. I'd love to tell you about all kind of different books and things you could read, and I'll talk about that for a second. You can read lots of great books, like Louise Hay's book, You Can Heal Yourself. That's a good one. There's many different ones, of course, that are good. Eckhart Tolle, The Power of the Now. Joe Dispenza's book, Becoming Supernatural. That book that I mentioned earlier. Well, I know you guys didn't know that I mentioned this earlier, but I mentioned it in my video I made earlier about my tour around here. We were reading while we were here. Kaylee is reading Joe Dispenza's Becoming Supernatural book, and I'm reading a book from Bernard Jensen. It's called The Discovery of the Inner Self, or no, the Discovery of the Great Within, or the Great Within. Something about, you know, our journey on the Great Within, you know, the being of us on the inner, you know, the inner journey, you know, and that is so true. We have to learn how to handle the inner states of our being and learn how to process our thoughts and our emotions and our feelings, you know. But okay guys, well, I think I'm going to end the video now. I've spent long enough, and I hope that you guys have enjoyed the video, and I hope it hasn't been too long, and I hope you've enjoyed it. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do, and please thumb this video up and give me a comment on what you thought about it. And if you ever have any other great ideas on videos you'd like me to do and see me to do, then just please give me the ideas below. And if I can help you with coaching and iridology reading or anything like that, you know, just reach out to me, and you can check out my services at any time on my website, thadcheatham.com. But guys, I've enjoyed talking with you today, and I hope this video was really useful and some great tips on how to manage our stress levels during this crazy turbulent time that we're living in this world with this whole coronavirus and all the fear that's going around. And please try to work the best you can on letting go of fear, because fear is such a burden to our being, and it causes so much stress. Because did you know all fear comes from the fear of death? And so the more we can let go of fear and anxiety and stress, we can truly be at peace and have love. So guys, I love you all so much, and I'm so thankful that I have such a great group of people that follow me on Facebook and my Facebook group, and on YouTube here when you watch me. So guys, I hope your journey to Wellville is balanced spiritually, mentally, and physically. Take care, my friends. I hope you have a wonderful day or night wherever you may be. Until next time, you take care of yourself out there in this crazy world. Bye-bye, guys. Bye-bye.